Hopefully you guys had a great weekend, great 4th of July weekend for you guys, enjoying the vacation with the family, having a lot of fun, but we are back on the grind now. It's Monday, and we're a couple weeks away from training camp. So in this video, we're going to go over the latest Detroit Lions news for you and rumors here. Za'Darius Smith could be coming back in the next couple weeks, 2 weeks. Get over that article, give you my thoughts about that and what it means. A trade idea that has been floated around, we'll go over that. A realistic option at the bottom. That I can't wait to talk about it because at least the author went realistic here. A radio host from 97.1 The Ticket who's a positive guy's a little boo-boo in Lions offseason. And I'm kind of with him. We'll talk about it. New arrivals and what it means, and former Lions. Could some former Lions be coming back to the Detroit Lions? We'll find out here. So should the Lions sign Za'Darius Smith? I want you guys to tell me in the comments right now. S for sign, P for pass. Let's get this thing started right now. Who I like, Mark Schlereth, he's now an analyst, former player, is always giving a lot of credit to the Detroit Lions. He's always been a positive guy. He kind of looks at an unbiased opinion. He's been doing this for years. So I actually take a lot what he says as good because he has the credentials to do it. Mark Schlereth breaks down Dan Campbell's incredible impact on the Detroit Lions. It is talking about what he does. Says Dan understands the offense. So what you have seen over the last couple of years just isn't Ben Johnson. Dan Campbell's very much involved. Talking about the Lions' offense because a lot of people are a little bit worried, right? We lose Ben Johnson, but he's giving credit to Dan Campbell, and everybody needs to get credit to Dan Campbell. You remember, he did help shape this offense. It wasn't just Ben Johnson. Jared Goff, Dan Campbell, Ben Johnson, and John Morrison. They helped make the offense what it was. That was after Anthony Lynn was fired back in year one. And so I think that, this offense is going to be fine. There are going to be some hiccups, but we still got Dan Campbell. We still got the players. And Schlereth is correct. The world's not going to come to an end because Ben Johnson is gone. We still have Dan Campbell. That's the head coach. It just really is. So, should the Lions bring back Za'Darius Smith? S for sign, P for pass. Let's get into this next article here. And Positive Sports Radio host has unfortunate Detroit Lions prediction. Since I can't avoid this anymore, I don't think that the Lions had a good offseason in the way, shape, or form. Ryan said the reporters were out that they were trying to trade up the draft to get James Pierce out of Tennessee, and they didn't land him. Za'Darius Smith, where is he? They've done literally nothing to improve the pass rush. Where there's 23rd in sacks last year. Now, Mark, what about Aidan Hutchinson coming back? In form? In what form? He returning? Ryan says the offensive line folks would be everything with what we lost. Defections, unexpected retirements. Frank Reagan, Kevin Zeller, boom out. He said, the schedule, the most difficult road schedule, bar none, in history of the National Football League. No hyperbole there. I'm not trying to fatalize in the shape and form. I'm not trying to kill your mojo or play both sides of the fence here. So he's a little boo-boo in the Lions offseason. I'm not going to kiss your butt. Should the Detroit Lions win the Super Bowl this year, I want to give me the greatest amount of hell that you've ever given any host here in this station. I don't deserve to enjoy it if we win a Super Bowl this year because I'm telling you right now that I don't believe they're Super Bowl contenders, Ryan said. That's the reality of the situation. I see a transition season for Detroit. New offensive coordinators, developing guys, the offensive line, retooling the offensive line, establishing, do you want J-Mo here to long-term deal or not? I see this transition year for Detroit Lions. I can agree and disagree. Agree and disagree. And here's where I'm going to agree. He's correct. It is a lot of new stuff going on, and I do believe that there is going to be some issues, right, with the offense. But I think a lot of this stuff will be fixed by the end of the season. If the Lions can make it to the playoffs, in which I do believe they will, those pieces, the new coordinators, the new piece on the offensive line, that stuff will be worked out by Week 17. And I don't know how good it'll be worked out, right? But a lot of this stuff will be worked out. And what do we know when you make to the playoffs? What happens when you get to the playoffs? It doesn't matter about your record. Doesn't matter about the tough schedule that we had. Doesn't matter about the players that we lost or the rookies at that point. Doesn't matter. When you're in the dance, you have a chance. Look at the Washington Commanders. Nobody expected them to go to the championship game, and they did. This is the NFL. Not for long. Okay? If they can get to the dance, they have a chance. And yes, this schedule is absolutely brutal. He's correct. It's one of the worst schedules ever, right? Brutal schedule. But again, it doesn't matter when you're in the playoffs. And I think a lot of people fully expect Detroit Lions to get to the playoffs. I do. I'm boo-boo on their 10, 11 wins is what I got. I'm boo-booing on the regular season, but I don't really care about the regular season, right? It's all about the postseason. It's all about winning a Super Bowl. I do think our win-losses will be significantly down, right? We're not going to go 15-2. But I'm not going to say, Lions have no chance at the Super Bowl, blah, blah, blah. Man, we have no idea what's going to happen how many times have we seen teams be good that you expect to be good, bad, all that type of stuff? This is the NFL. So I'm not going to say that. Is it tougher? 100%. Do I feel like this team's a little bit less than last year? Yep. Doesn't mean it can't change. Because we can bring in a guy like Za'Darius Smith. So should the Lions sign Za'Darius Smith? S for sign, P for pass. Now let's go ahead and give up the main topic of today's video, and that's Za'Darius Smith. Huge shout out to Mike Payton from A to Z Sports here. Says what we're hearing things right now. We know that the Lions Smith have maintained contact since release went down. Payton said last time Lions general manager Brad Holmes said he spoke with Smith was before the league meetings. Continue on. Ahead of the draft, Holmes said that the Lions left things in the hands of Smith's agent, and his agent would let Detroit know if there's something going to things going to change, Payton said. At the BET Awards last June, Smith told USA Today that he wanted to be back in Detroit, and that's where we're at right now. So we'll see what happens in the next 2 weeks. Lions could be bringing back Za'Darius Smith in the next 2 weeks, and I hope that's the case. I would prefer sooner rather than later. I've been saying on my pod that it could go into training camp if the Lions still want to do it, because it's both sides, right? The player and the team. The player wants more money. The team wants less money. Beam, they clash, right? It could take a little bit. But you're saying here it could happen the next 2 weeks. And I hope that's the case. I truly do. We need Smith back on this team. Why wait any longer? Just get it done. We can move forward. He had 9 sacks last year between the Browns and Detroit, and we could use those sacks. And this could go back to the positive radio host. He's talking about, where the heck is Za'Darius Smith? He talked about that in here. Where's the pass rush, right? Week 1's not here just of yet. So we got some time. But if the Lions can snag up Smith and bring him back, I think the defense, at that point, I'm pretty good with the defense. Now I think all eyes will be on the offensive line at that point. But bring him in. You got the money. He wants to be here. Why the hell wait? I personally, I'm just get it done. That's my view on things. He wants to be here. He's a pause. I don't really understand the situation, so just bring Smith in. NFL rumor. Could TJ Watt join the Detroit Lions in a blockbuster trade? I'm not going to talk about this article. We're going to go to the very bottom of the article, and this is what I like to see. Conclusion. It talks about all the things. The Lions may be overvalued in what Watt trade odds are. While the idea of Watt suiting up for the Lions is thrilling, the financial and draft implications make it unlikely. Detroit currently sits at plus 600 to land him, the third best odds. But that may be wishful thinking and more realistic potential for now. The smart bet is Watt stays in Pittsburgh. Thank you for this article right there. You don't need to read the rest of it. You just need to read the very bottom of conclusion, because he is correct. The Lions are not going to invest that type of money and draft pick right now into TJ Watt. We have seen it. And that's the idea that even if he could get traded, right? Pittsburgh ain't going to trade this guy. They just got Brad Bear, Aaron Rodgers. They got all these oldies. They're trying to make one more run. That's what they're trying to do. And I think after this year, they probably blow it up. But Watt's going to be there, in my opinion. The Lions, we would love to have him, but we can't. You know who we could get? Is Za'Darius Smith. S for sign, P for pass. Get it done, Detroit. What are you waiting on? New arrivals kicking butt. DJ Reed making an impact, and I love seeing this, man. I love seeing this. Says he's got coverability. He plays man-to-man. Let's start there. Lions head coach Dan Campbell said about Reed, but he'll bite on the perimeter right. He'll come up, he'll tackle, squeeze the edge. And when you see him in press, he'll challenge. He's not giving you a free lease. He'll mix it up. And when he challenges you in the catch point, man, he's feisty. And that's Detroit type of guy right there. He is. He is. And he's been making impacts, and that's good. I want to wait to see because he's a smaller guy against the bigger receivers. I fully expect he'll be a dog, but I want to see when there is a mismatch. There's going to be some mismatches. He goes against a DK Metcalf, right? But it also talks about the article about Terrion Arnold taking a big step forward. So, like I've said before, maybe they put on Arnold and the bigger guys at that point because he could take a step forward, and I think he will. Lions secondary, I think it's going to be fine, folks. I'm not worried about the defense. If we get Smith, I'm not even thinking much about the defense. I'm actually thinking that's probably the strength of the phases of this team would be the defense at that point. Because I do think they're going to get better, and I do like Shep. Article here, former Lions players that could come back to Detroit. I'm going to give you my thoughts why for yes or and for no on these players. Za'Darius Smith, yes, he legitimately could come back. I could see this happen. I'm Mike, and I approve this message. Jamal Williams, no. I don't see him coming back. Lions stacked at running back. I do think he was a product of the Lions' offensive line. He was here, even though I love the guy as a personality. Who are you going to let go? We already got a stacked running back room. I'm not going to give Jamal Williams. What are you going to do for Craig Reynolds? I'll take Craig Reynolds right now. Who's absolutely cheaper. Keith says down, does thing. We got Sione Vaki. Those are backups. We already got great running backs. Jake Fromm, State Farm, very possible. He actually did pretty good. I thought in preseason last year, he is 100% possibility. If I would take him over Kyle Allen right now, to be honest with you. I got to keep you. I'll take Jake Fromm over Kyle Allen. So, yeah, it's possible. Quandre Diggs, possible if there's some sort of injuries to the safety position or if they just want to get a veteran. Right now, I would say no. They already got 4 studs. I don't see them, again, unless there's an injury or something unforeseen or one of these players that doesn't perform well they expect, then okay. But, yeah, unrealistic for these. Bring back pass rusher. Again, there it is. It was the pass rushing thing right there. New of rivals. So that's for today's Lions news. So give me your thoughts about today's Lions video. We're getting closer to training camp. 2 weeks away, 2.5 weeks away, 3 weeks away, whatever it is. I'm excited. With that said, folks, adios.